I am Sagar Sumit, a computer science and engineering undergrad from NIT Trichy, India. Before I start talking about youth empowerment and social inclusion, I would like to thank the Alexa Society and all the coordinators involved in organizing the International Youth Forum for allowing me to be a part of it. Honestly, I feel very privileged. We all know that in this decade and the next, the youth population of the world is going to be, especially the developing world, is going to be more than ever. In fact, India has the largest youth population, which is truly remarkable, but only dampened by the fact that a very small share of this young population is socially active. Youth empowerment, social inclusion, engaging people in active citizenship is the need of the hour. Before talking about issues related to social inclusion, I would like to elaborate more on what social inclusion means. Social inclusion as such has no generally agreed definition. Basically, it seeks to ensure that everyone, regardless of their background, their circumstances, is provided a means to participate more fully in a society. Our main focus is on the members of the most vulnerable groups of the society who actually feel and are socially excluded. Now let us see what all issues hamper social inclusion and youth empowerment. The very first issue of concern is that of the critical state of transition in the life of a young man. The youth period is rich with life transitions, right? We are expected to be successful in completing our education, then enter into labor market, eventually leave our parental homes. Now these various transitions no longer follow a linear path. Many young people lack status, rights, and power in the society. Additionally, some of them are constrained by poverty, and their extended dependence on the family leaves them with a very limited opportunity to higher education, employment, housing, and citizenship, which increases their risk of social exclusion. Now, the second issue is that of employment. It is a hard fact to accept, but it is true. According to latest global employment trends released by International Labour Organization, the young people between 15 and 24 are 3 times as likely as adults to be out of work worldwide. Young people like us face many challenges and a significant degree of marginalization due to our age and circumstances. For example, our lack of political representations due to voting age restrictions, or the hidden discrimination faced by us in the labor market due to our lack of experience. This is often accompanied by our lack of financial and legal autonomy. Now, all the issues that I have mentioned thus far will come into play only when we are in our youth period, right? Let us explore the root of the problem. That is, how can one get socially excluded at first? This is mainly due to their inaccessibility to education and non-academic learning due to their disadvantaged background. Let me give you a very simple analogy. We all agree that internet is the biggest revolution of the past couple of decades, right? But still, there is a vast majority of youth who do not have access to internet, and thus they are socially excluded from the social networking world. Similarly, the government has devised a plan for free and compulsory education, but we do not realize that segregation of this compulsory education is actually creating a youth divide. How? This is how. The urban youth is getting more and more sophisticated owing to their better schooling, better higher education, and thus better employment. While the rural youth, on the other hand, is sometimes left with no employment at all. While it is true that it is good for a society that communities are able to organize, it is also true that some communities are better able to organize than others. So there is a risk that unless the organizational capacity is provided for all the areas of society, then otherwise the active citizenship will just become the preserve of relatively well-off and well-organized sections of the society. This is where we, the youth, must be channelized and empowered to drive out disparity in the society. Achieving social inclusion depends on our commitment to ensure that active citizenship embraces the principles of community development. This will allow people to have more opportunities to participate and influence the decisions that affect them. Supporting the capacity to organize, especially for the disadvantaged communities, will also allow greater degree of engagement with the political process at local level, thereby reducing the alienation and strengthening the democracy. We, as part of a youth organization, must provide a platform for all individuals, including those who are marginalized, to voice their concerns and challenge government policies and actions. We must allow young people to feel how the vulnerable groups feel when they are discriminated against. We need to get closer to the diverse realities and allow free expression of ideas and feelings. We must strive hard to provide a good entry point to active citizenship. Active community and the voluntary sector contributes not only to democracy but also to bringing about a pluralist society. It provides opportunities for the development of decentralized and more participative structures in the society. It also fosters a climate in which the quality of life can be enhanced for all. It is indeed wonderful that we all, from different countries and cultures, are coming together at one place to discuss issues of socio-political and national economic importance. Today, a lot can be done to improve youth work on social inclusion. But before embarking on, we should ask ourselves, do we really consider all groups as equal? Are we ready to take up the challenge in joining the socially excluded ones in their life environment? Are we ready to ensure that social inclusion and active citizenship leads to community development as a whole? And if your mind and your heart says yes to, then let us make it a point that we shall take a determined action to improve our social integration within the society. Thank you.